Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of how to score an action scene. In this video we're going to do the scoring in real time. This time, as you can see, I'm pointing the camera towards the keyboard and not my face, so you can actually see what I'm going to be doing in real time. And I'm going to be doing all this from scratch. Now I'll explain exactly in a little bit what we're going to do. But let me just preface by saying that I know this video has been long overdue. It's been 2 years since the first one. Had a lot happening, so apologize for that. But yeah, let's get right into it. So, because I don't want to waste too much time, I just want to get into this and see what comes out of this session. Because I'm going to be scoring live. I'm going to be writing live, showing you my process. I'm going to try not to talk too much. I'm just going to try to play more than anything. And basically today what we're going to do is we're going to take a film called, it's a film that I did 5 years ago. I did the score to this film, this short film 5 years ago. It's called the Sixth Zed. And it was a Nikon promo by Lucas Colombo and Armando Ferreira, who are two collaborators of mine for years. I've collaborated with them on so many projects. And for this particular project, I only had about I think it was 2 days to do it. I had to do the whole thing in one night. I remember I spent the whole night writing it, and then the next day some revisions. I had to finish it that night, the revisions, and then the next day I had to deliver in the morning, because I think they were releasing it that afternoon or the day after. So it was a crazy session. Now, it's been 5 years, and what I wanted to do was just score the ending scene to it. The ending, it was this big action cue. It's about 3 minutes long. And I haven't seen the actual short film in years, so I honestly don't even remember what I did for it. And I'm kind of glad I don't, because I want to score from scratch. I mean, I've grown in 5 years. My style is very different now than it was back then. So I think it's a good way for me to sort of just backtrack and take you through the whole process that I go through, because what my goal today is to score it as fast as possible. Because if you're a composer, especially a beginner composer, which is more tailored towards beginners, a lot of times what's going to happen is that you're going to be in these situations. Actually, even as a professional doing this for years, you're going to be in these situations where they're like, hey, listen, we got this project, we need to score today. Pretty much, can you do it? Or you have 3-5 days to do an hour-and-a-half film. You're going to be in the craziest of situations. I'm just letting you right now, so you have to prepare yourself for that. So we're going to play a scenario that this director who directed this, Lucas, told us, hey, we need this action cue. It's 3 minutes, but we need it today, because the client wants to see a first draft of it. So that's the scenario right now. And, I can either say yes or no to the gig. In this case, obviously, we're going to say yes. He just sent me the cut. So I opened up Studio One. I'm going to open up the video track here. I'm going to drop the video in here. And it's going to populate the thumbnails and everything. We'll let that load. Okay. You can actually see the video, obviously. And let me see how long this is. This is about, it's actually 2 minutes. 2 minutes of music. Okay. Not too bad. But there's a lot in these 2 minutes. I mean, I'm saying it's not too bad, but there's a lot. Now, in these situations where you're given like no time at all, I mean, it's a luxury, right? You have to choose your battles. I would love to write all this sophisticated music with all these modulations and everything, make it absolutely perfect. That's kind of not going to happen. We could do that, but I'm going to be here all day, and it's going to be an 8-hour video as opposed to my goal of an hour video. So we're not going to do that. I'm just going to give you some principles, some stuff that you can work with that's tangible, and that's kind of realistic when you're given such a deadline where you're really just you just want to do a great job. You want to do a good job, but you want to do the job while still, maintaining some musical integrity and also some personal integrity as well. And so yeah, let's get right to it. Now, before we get into the video, actually, scratch that. Let's play the video first. I'm going to extract the audio and let's watch the video from beginning to end. I'm going to full screen this, and then we'll jump back into the session. So let's do that right now.
Get in! late.
Who are you?
Don't ask questions.
How'd you know where I was going to be? Okay, no questions, I get it. You're not really the warm and fuzzy type, are you?
All right, so you just saw the video. Now, as you can see, I have all these folders here. And all these folders house all my different instruments. Now, this is not my normal writing template. My actual writing, the template that I actually use is way bigger than this. I would say it's probably 4 to 5 times the size of this one. This is a smaller template that I'm using just today, just for resources and for load times, and because I don't want to be here all day. But normally I have Spitfire instruments here. I have Adventure Brass. I have all these other things, Infinite Woodwinds, Infinite Brass. I have all these other libraries that I like to use, but for the purpose of this video, we're just going to use this basic library here. And first things first, we're going to find out since we already watched it through, we're going to try to find out what the main overall tempo is, but also the dramatic cue points. Where is the music going to shine? Where is it going to dip down? Where is it going to let the dialogue do its thing? Remember, we're not just musicians. I mean, if we want to, we are musicians, but we are more than that. The added weight that we have as composers is that we're storytellers, we're filmmakers as well. And that is so crucial. We need to tell the story that the director's telling. If we're telling a completely other story, then we're fired, and that sucks. That's never fun. But we want to be on the same page. So always before doing this, have a spotting session. I highly recommend, even if it's remote, just jump on a Zoom call, bounce ideas if you can. If there's not only the director, there's other producers too, all jump on a call. Highly recommend that, because that makes a huge, trust me, that makes a huge difference on the outcome, because not only do they have more confidence in you and the feedback will be that much better, but you're on the same page and you're all telling the same story. So this I don't have the original notes for this, but we're just gonna, since again this is more of a scoring video, just showing you tips and tricks, we're gonna go with our storytelling instincts. And since I already kind of did this, I kind of more or less know what they want, but I'll explain that as we go. So let's open up our tempo track. Let's open up our marker track. Let's open up our signature track. I'm going to default to 1/4 for now. I always do this, or 1/8, but depending, I like, if I want to do it in in eighth notes or quarter notes, I'm going to stick to quarter notes. And the great thing about just doing quarter notes as opposed to 4/4 3/4, 5/8 7/8 stuff like that, I could probably switch to 5/8 7 if I need to, but at least with the quarter notes, I can do this. You know what I mean? Like, right there, I switched a couple of times. I switched time signatures a couple of times just in that. But I mean, since I'm in 1/4, I have that flexibility where I'm not just restrained to 4/4 3/4. I'm like or I can let my mind go wherever I want. And again, this is more about feel than what's the proper thing to do, what's the right thing to do. Again, this is not going to orchestra. And if it was, I can always come back and put the right time signatures after the fact. But we want to capture the moment. It's kind of like capturing lightning in a bottle. We want to capture the feel, all right, that muse in the moment, and with as little hindrance as possible. So let's go back again. Let's try to find the tempo, and usually I'll do that, like I'll either clap it or I'll just snap. So let's see the tempo that tries to hit everything. Okay, so that was our end point.
Get in! You're late.
Who are you?
Okay. I don't know if that's going to be perfect, but again, since we're on a time, you know, we're in a unlimited time here, we just want to find something in the ballpark. So let's bump this up. Well, so I was kind of around there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. By the way, I'm using tap tempo here in Studio One. Ableton and Pro Tools have this tap tempo in different places as is Logic. So for Studio One is right here, and this kind of gets me in the ballpark. It's a little too fast than what I had. And let's find the endpoint. We can do like a little build up. Or let's see, let's put a marker here. We can do the as soon as he looks them. So let's add a marker here. Now, usually I will go ahead and write out these markers, but since we're in a time crunch, again, I'm just gonna put it there. So we have a choice. We can enter right as he starts running, or right when we cut right to the bikes. So around there. Let's put our marker around here at 18. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, by the way. This and if we do want to be more precise with this, we could after the fact. But let's just oops, wrong button. Let's add a track there. So we'll be let me mute this here. Okay, so that right there, so we can do we want to kind of have a moment right there. About 55. Okay, again, these are just kind of like, normally what I would do is I would do like, okay, he starts running, I would fill this in like starts running here. Sorry, we notice the bikers here. Okay, here he starts running, where we start the action cue. And I probably would actually, this would probably be filled with more markers. Again, we're in a time crunch here, so I'm not going to do that, and I'm not even going to mark these. We're just going to be these is going to be these guides. Okay, so to simplify things, we're just going to do a quick like orchestral string texture kind of thing, or crescendi rather. Okay, oh, by the way, if you see these, all these are deactivated. And this is a great thing if you're low on resources or on RAM. This is just a great thing to have. I just always do this by default because I like starting from scratch. I have 64 gigs of RAM on this system. I used to have 120 on the previous one. I've kind of like leaned down on this laptop. But I found I didn't even need 128 because of this way that I use this. Even on my bigger template with 64 gigs of RAM, I never actually hit that threshold because I'm activating and deactivating. I only activate the instruments I need for that session. And funny enough, and probably common sense, you don't need everything at the same time. So just by pressing I can activate the instrument. Okay, and voila. Okay, so that's kind of good. Let's see. Yeah, we can do, I mean, that's more of a horror thing, but we can sort of do a, we'll layer that with something else. And then we went. That probably works better. The problem is going with high strings is this, and then it turns into alien or you know, horror film territory. This is not a horror film. We just want to create some tension. So let's start that. Let me see. And we can actually, we don't have to start that right at 5. We can actually see, move that. Perfect. All right. And we can do a rise here as well. So and we can just let it go. I think I cut that off way too late because we're at 18. Yeah, cut it off way too late. So we'll go here. Okay. Okay, not perfect, but it kind of gets the job done. And what we can do is we can also like do some percussion stuff. So if we want, we can actually do a we could do timpani rolls, things like that. So let me see if I have that here actually. Oh, actually what I'm looking for is the sustain roll. Here. This is not my normal template. So let's start in D. Yeah. And I probably normally wouldn't use timpani for this. I probably would go to something a little bit more modern. And we'll probably do that eventually, but this is again. We can go deeper here. Normally I like to go this range higher because there's more tonality to it. It's more obvious what we're trying to do, but this is more of a sound effect that I'm going for. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is for now, I'm just gonna go -6 on this just so. Okay, obviously a little too late on the timpanis. Let's dial that back. Perfect. All right, so let's again. This is gonna be very generic. I mean, I know. I apologize in advance. It's gonna be a very generic kind of thing, but again, since we don't have the luxury of experimenting, it's gonna sound generic. Let's see. I like to sing this instead of just filling around the piano. I kind of like just sing it and see what it takes me. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm gonna do it with one hand. Something like that. We'll improvise it and see. Let me give myself a little bit more. Ooh, way too fast. Went way too fast. Now I'm thinking what we can do is we can add a here. Let's go a little faster. I feel like it's not fast enough. And we might have to move this marker actually. So it's actually going to be a 50. It's going to be around here. And we can, all right, so I just feeling this should be faster. Yeah, so again, let's give ourselves more wiggle room. Let's see. Humanize a little bit. I know I to humanize. I just. Let's do. Yeah, so let's see, let's just improvise a little bit, see what happens. This is, again, I'm just kind of like just throwing spaghetti at the wall and see one sticks. Oh, that's right, but we have that transition coming up here. That's right. So we're doing here, let me see. We can repeat that, or we can do a progression. Or we can do a transition there. And so let's see. And they start. Oh, there's already. Okay, so around here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a musical moment out of this. Okay, I'm gonna introduce a melody with that same pattern here. And again, this is how I kind of write. It's a little bit, I know it might seem unorthodox and maybe not what one is expecting. Like, oh, wait a second. I mean, what's the structure to this? This is kind of how it is. You just, you just kind of figure it out as you're going. And a lot of times I'll go back and fix certain things. Or if I find a better melody down the road that happens to fit the harmonic structure, then I'll go back and just redo that. But when you're on a time crunch, there's no time to think. I mean, a lot of people, I mean, yeah, you can go to paper and try to do it, but there's just no time for that. So. Let's see. So that's, so we're gonna go for a. No, I don't know. Maybe too Spaniard there. Let me see. So, okay, so we can go a couple ways here. The progression you do, let's see what type of progression we can come up with. It's something in that realm. No, I don't. I want to stay away from major. Okay, I like that. Let's see if I can remember that. Ah, shit. So what I did there was obviously that idea that I had didn't fully make all the, didn't go from completely from point A to point B. Sometimes that happens. Let's listen back to it. I try not to do things from scratch again, just because again. I like that better. Actually, maybe. Let's actually not make this too strong because the dialogue starts there. Okay. So, my thought process. Okay, we have all this. We have this riff going. I feel a little disjointed there, so let's see. So what we can do there, let's do this since we have can we repeat this instead? Let's see, and I think that could work. Yeah, I think that could work. Let's repeat that. Or better yet, let's do this. So what I'm doing right now, in case you're wondering, you're probably like, what is this guy doing now? I'm listening back and I'm editing what I did. This is gonna happen a lot. You're gonna go back, you're gonna listen with new ears, because at the moment you're kind of like just writing, you're thinking. And it's kind of like when you're shooting a film, right? Or you're filming. You're getting all this footage and stuff, and then you put it in a nonlinear editor and you look at it all and you're like, okay, this is not what I thought, and I have to go back and edit this. I have to put this shot over here. Maybe this shot isn't as nice as I thought, so let me take that out and put this shot in. You're editing your own work. So basically, you kind of, again, when you're in a time crunch like this, again, if you have time, you can figure all this stuff at the piano and bring it in here, but we don't. So. Okay, so that doesn't. So that didn't work out. I mean, it kind of did. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and do this here. And so okay, so let's see what we can do. Major. So what we'll do, again, editing. We're editing this together because now we're like hearing this sort of with new ears. And let's actually bring this over here. You're probably watching this, and this is probably like comments. this over here. Let's make it a little bigger. Okay. Oops. Apologize. There we go. Okay, so what we'll do, this could work. Okay. And then we'll add some like percussion here that once we do the percussion, it's gonna fill up a lot of stuff. So let's keep writing. So let's do some pizzicatos, violas, pizzicatos. Let me see. Oh, we're now in Dark Knight territory, so let's see. We don't need that actually there. So let's go into some brass. Again, I'm just kind of like feeling out what I want to do, what we're gonna do here. We'll do the basses afterwards. So what we can do is we can do actually basses and low brass at the same time and see what comes out of that. So let's do double basses here and low brass in unison. Let's see. All right. So that bass is giving me a bit of an issue here. There you go. Let me see. Something like that, right? So let's try that. Let me give myself a little bit of leeway here. Hold on. Let me do that. Let's try it again. So let's lower this. Can become an obnoxious real quick. So so let's start by adding the, which I probably should have done this first, but I liked adding the actually no, let's go with the melody. Okay, so let's add the melody. So we're actually going to start this. Now we're going to double this with trombones and see how that goes. That's not an awful melody. I'm just making a melody. I don't know. I don't remember the original melody I did for this, but this is just, again. We have now we have the so let's we're gonna actually go ahead and use the transform tool to take all this stuff and bring it down just a little bit. And I think specifically it's these lines right here, this it's kind of hard to tell when you're making up stuff like this. Actually, we don't need this. These are fine the way they are. What, you know, what's going to stand out, what's going to clash. It's kind of stuff you figure out afterwards. So let's add some trumpets. I'm hearing, by the way, all this stuff I'm just hearing and I'm improvising. So, hey, where are my trumpets? Come on. Oh, still loading. So let's give that a second to load. Okay. Do that better. So let's 1, 2, da 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 1, 2. And let's mute. Okay, so okay, so we have like a little interlude there. I kind of want to do something with the strings to kind of fill that, so we can tie those two sections together. Yes, sir. Ah. La, so. What am I doing? The major or minor? I lost track already. I'm going back between major and minor. I'm kind of doing that on purpose because it's just to give us some variety. And this time I'm going minor. In the beginning I'm doing major. I'm going. We could always just change it to major too. So let me see if we want to just keep it major for consistency's sake. Yeah, let's just keep it major for consistency's sake. I mean, I like the variety of just going major, minor stuff, but I think for this C. Yeah. Actually. Yeah, there you go. Let me go back a little bit just to mind. Oh, you know what? I think Studio One has this thing where, yeah, so I apologize. It records in the previous track. It's a glitch. There you go. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. Yeah, so let's do that. All right, ready? So yeah, so it's a little tricky because we have that odd time thing there. So yeah, so it's a little tricky. We'll try and see here. I think I can work. Yeah, that could work. So let's. We'll keep that. And we'll just do quarter notes there. So. And then.
You're late.
All right, so let's go into, well, I have to break this, actually, this second part, I have to break this into two parts. It's getting kind of long. So what I'll do is I'll just do this short part here, and then we'll split this into another video. I don't have to go too crazy editing this together. Let's see. We'll just...
You're late. You're late.
Who are you?
You're late.
Who are you?
All right, let me turn off because of sound effects. Like yeah, so and then from there we start the new action cue there. And then again we can so let's okay, now that we've been doing this, let's go ahead and add some actual like loops, percussion, stuff like that that can really aid us in doing this kind of properly. So I'm going to go ahead and add some action strikes in here, or maybe damaged. Let's see. Damaged, I did a video on Damaged quite a while back, and it's one of my favorite libraries, and it's absolutely wonderful. So let's make this a little smaller just so I can have a little bit more real estate. So we'll do this around here, okay? And this is gonna it's gonna help us a lot. That's right. It's on 4. That's right. We can actually. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and we'll put input quantized so we can have that, you know. So let's start with this one, and then so here, so yeah, so I forgot that we're not in 4/4 here. We're in a sort of a different 1, 2. We're in a sort of 6/8. Tak, 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 tak. So these are 4/4. Just see. Let me see if we do have anything in 3/4 here. That would be interesting. At least that can, you know, we can make that work. So no, we don't. So what we can do, we don't have to actually use this. We can go with action strikes, which just works as one action strike. I'm actually more familiar with action strikes than damage 2. I've been on damage 1 for like forever. So let's see. So let's go to see if we can find something in 3/4, 6/8. Well, listen. Let's try more of this. And we'll do this, yeah. So let's try that. And then right there, we will probably stop. So I'm gonna split this into 2 videos. This is gonna be just the first part of part 2, I guess, if that makes sense. And then we'll split this into another video. So I know that sounded all out of sync, but Nick, I was playing it live. It will make sense now. And so what we're gonna do, no, let's add some actual. I'm gonna play some percussion just manually to sort of enhance that. And for that, we're gonna use Strike Force. I like the multis in Strike Force, so I'm kind of hearing a little bit of snares right when that melody comes in. So. So let's see how that sounds. So let's try it from here. And then we can actually, let's actually stop with the, it's kind of like messes up there. So let's, and then, yeah, because I never actually quite quantized this, so. So a little bit of an accent there. So when we see the car again, doom, 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 doom. Again, wherever we can enforce the drama. Let's see. Let's do epic wide. It's another one that I like a lot. And this is just to add more of a. So. So this is it sounds funky because I start at the wrong spot. It's just weird how epic, you know, action drums is. Everything will sound out of sync. So now you'll hear it in sync. So I actually don't like starting it there because we want to emphasize it. Let's add a little piatti there, a little cymbal action. So where's the cymbal? It's not my favorite symbol, but whatever, I'll do for now. Maybe we got a little bit of reverb to it. It'll kind of like help. Let's see. Where is it? There you go. Actually, since we don't want that to be let's add a let's also add a bit of a gong there. So where is, do I have a gong here? Let me see. Maybe in the non-pitch percussion I probably do. Let me see. Right there. It sounds oriental, but it's not going to be that loud. Maybe a little let's get rid of the trumpets and save them for later. So let's see. The other thing I will do, which I normally wouldn't want to do, but since since we still see, where can we start the drums doesn't go out completely out of whack. So let's add a little bit more synth there. And let's see where we can go from there. Like adding things like that. So let's see. I don't know if there's stuff like that, sort of to emphasize the action a little bit. But that's gonna be more of a background thing. Let me see. Let's cut And it all sounds dry because I haven't even added reverb to the instruments yet, but you can imagine it'll have reverb. Let's actually copy this to this drum. Yeah, it's like that a roll in there. And if we turn this up, you can actually hear the dialogue.
You're late.
Who are you?
Don't ask questions.
How'd you know where I was going to be?
And we can do a little bit of we can do a little bit of melody there with the horns.
Questions.
How'd you know where I was going to
Sorry, let me start from here.
You're late. You're late.
Who are you?
Don't ask questions.
How'd you know where I was going to be? Okay, no questions, I get it. You're not really the warm and fuzzy type, are you?
You know, something to kind of like add in the background. Of course, you can go to town with this. You can do more things, but again, just to keep the we can hear the dialogue to, you know, but also keep that that sort of propulsion in the you know, of the strings to sort of propelling us forward and keeping the momentum. That always helps. So yeah, so let's see, what else can we do? I think for now we can just listen back. The other thing I probably would do is I would add maybe another pulse here, but it would be more of a, of course I would do more stuff than this, but this is a sort of like, since we've given ourselves little time, I'm trying to just move. Let's see if this is always a good one. The only thing is, since I picked this in 3/4, which again, the original wasn't in 3/4. Let's see. We can do something like that too for.
You're late.
Yeah, it sounds a little, the top end of that sounds wow. We have a little, it sounds a little funky, but let me see. Let's see if I can do a more of a playable thing here. Let's see. I don't know how that would sound. So again, let's try it. No, because I actually prefer what I had before. And this is stuff that you can just do. You can go rhythmic and do something like that. That's kind of cool. I wish it was in 3/4. Not sure how you can do that. Actually, that'd be kind of cool to add just in that part. And then again, I like adding little things like that just to sort of not only create momentum, but it just kind of helps. And I feel like since I did do a lot of this in 3.4, it might have to skew towards more of me actually playing the electronic stuff rather than just a one-shot thing, even though there's a lot of presets for that. But so let's hear what we have, and then we'll continue this in a second part, but so you can have an idea. I'll play this audio very low in the background. Okay, so of course, let's add a piatti here at the beginning. What am I doing? Right? So that's what's a piatti? Always tricky to find it without the content. We need a bit more of a big impact there, right? It's just me. You know what we can do too? I mean, this might offset a little bit, but maybe it won't kill us too much. No. Yeah, so let's try that. Oh, and let's also add that gong. There's a gong around here, right? Yeah, let's try that. All right, here we go. So since I sped it up over here, I have to increase it here and see if that lands better. So yeah.
You're late.
Right there. Yeah, much better.
Who are you?
Don't ask questions.
How'd you know where I was going to be? Okay, no questions, I get it. You're not really the warm and fuzzy type, are you?
Okay. And then from there, we can continue the melody, we can do more. But I guess this can give you a good overview of how normally I would do this. Now, what I would do in this instance, I'm not going to do it right now, but I would go back and figure out a better transition.
Get in!
Is in this part, I would figure out a better transition. So when we go from here, so this right here, what I probably would do is changing this is I would go down to the B flat. And if I were to do that with the low brass here, let me see how that would sound. Maybe just changing the bass can make a big difference. Sounds awful. Let's see if that makes a difference. Yeah, And let's I think there's a mistake here. Let's see. Let's do that with the let's, I kind of like that better. I'll probably change a couple of things. It's really high up there, but whatever. All right, so here's the final. Okay, so that's going to be it for today. What we're going to do is I'm going to do a second part to this just to finish out the scene. Frankly, because I went over time what I wanted to do. But again, I'm explaining a lot of stuff. It's a little bit different when you're doing this in front of a camera. But hopefully this has been helpful in sharing the process of how I kind of do this. I would then just sort of have this keep going through, kind of apply the same thing. And what I would do is I'd probably go back and just restructure things a little bit differently so that the melodies flow better. I probably would step away maybe just for half an hour, come back and have fresh eyes on it. So all that stuff helps. Hopefully this has been helpful to you and hopefully it helps you in your journey as a composer. If you want to find out more about stuff like this, tips and tricks, things that I share, feel free to visit my website down below. And I'm going to keep, and if you like it, just comment down below, and any other questions or comments that you have, feel free as well. Hopefully you like this, and I'll see you next time.